Welcome to the latest episode of this week's Acca, sponsored by Skybet Acca Freeze. I'm Tom and joined remotely by Jake and Joe to discuss our selections. We're here for the Boxing Day fixtures taking place on Tuesday, building our accumulator in the usual style. As ever, we want to know your thoughts in the comments all through Sporting Live Football's social media channels, and remember to keep it fun, never bet more than you can afford. This podcast is 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly. Joe's in a nice retro Barnsley number I see there. I think it's been a successful Saturday, has it?
Yeah, it just seems really funny. Everyone was trying to keep a straight face then. I don't really know why. Because we're just used to doing it in person, then yeah, it just feels a bit different. This also, I think Jake's in his own house, but we're both at our parents' houses. And I had the same, like I had my mum going past the door here, and I was thinking, don't come in during that bit.
Have you got any good kind of random memorabilia with it not being your house that you can share with us? Or
well, I can see the LUFC plaque bit behind you there.
Yeah, this is my dad's office. There's some Leeds stuff here, if people like that. Brian Griffin.
No random memorabilia. The main thing that's happened so far since I've been here this afternoon is that my mum and dad have got a new puppy who they've only had for a couple of weeks, and while I was doing prep for the podcast during the Liverpool-Arsenal game, I just started to smell something. I was like, Mum, I think the dog might have farted, and no, he'd just done a massive shit behind this sofa that I'm sitting on now. She's like, oh, well, he's not. That's why he's not allowed in this.
Is that what you told her? Is it?
He's not allowed in this room after 6 o'clock usually, but I let him come in because you're here. And I was like, that's not why he's done a massive shit there.
I was about to say, show us the puppy, but I'm not too fussed now, I'll be honest.
He is really cute. If he comes in, I won't stop him.
So, we're recording this Saturday night. As you know, we're remote. We've said we're going to do some across the festive period. We'll try and keep it short as possible. We know it's Christmas Day coming up soon. You won't have too much time to listen to this. Jake, you were across it. Brief recap, I should say, of today's Acca. Meh.
Close. No cigar.
Yeah.
I think going into the 88th minute, something like that, we had 4 out of 5 winning, but the Acca was never going to win with Fulham going 2-0 down to 2 bangers from Burnley. 47th minute was the first goal, absolute screamer. Burnley had no chance in fairness, and Fulham, just a bit of huffing and puffing, never really got close to scoring. More chance accumulation as opposed to quality chances created. But yeah, we're not far away. I mean, Eastleigh cruised in. Bolton, 3-0 up, weren't they? And then 3-2, just about hung on. But yeah, it was one of those days where it could have easily come in had Fulham taken an early lead. But yeah, well, we move on. I mean, we've knocked on the door a few times now, so as the Bamstick, who isn't currently here, would say, we are due one.
Hopefully then, it's Boxing Day, and we'll move very quickly onto that then. I've looked through the fixture list. I hope there's going to be a lot of agreement here. We're trying to rattle it through as quickly as we can. Before we came on, Joe did say, I've got an idea of how we can quickly rattle through here. You know, get in, get out. Yeah. People can listen to it quickly, find out what the Acca is, get on with their festive celebrations. But he wanted to save it for the podcast. So please share with us your new method to make us just rattle through and get on with it.
So my suggestion was going to be that if somebody has a selection that they want to be in the Acca, and then the other two also have it, it just goes in.
That's do it.
So we're like, yeah, that's in. So we don't even discuss it and say why. So we just put it in. So it's like almost, holding up your green. If you ever go to one of those all you can eat meat places and you either turn it red or turn it green, where they just ignore it anyway and ask you. But it just keeps it pretty simple then.
Yes, all on board with that, I think. And well done as well, because they don't sponsor us any of the unnamed all-you-can-eat meat places, so we're not going to give them any free promotion either, even though we all know which one you're on about.
Yeah, one of them got shut down for food hygiene issues, so we definitely don't want to say that one up. But
yeah, definitely, just in case it's not them.
If they relaunch and they want to sponsor a podcast,
we're all ears.
Right, I suggest Joe starts. Oh, I was going to say Joe.
Oh,
The
okay.
idea. So Joe starts.
Yeah, okay. Joe, kick us off then. Let's get some teams we can all agree on for the Boxing Day fixtures taking place on Tuesday.
Cool. Okay, so first up, I'd like to have I've ordered them in price order for the purposes of this, but there are actually some bigger price ones that I really like. But I will go with the shortest one I've got, which is Peterborough to beat Reading at 4-7.
Bam. Yes.
Wanted them in the last pod. They did beat Shrewsbury 2-1 today.
I went to that game.
And how?
Good
But
side.
can we
Peterborough.
talk about it, or have we got 3 greens?
I mean, literally, my contribution to this is Peterborough are absolutely brilliant. I know I've been
Nice.
hesitant on them. It's nothing we didn't know already. They are an absolutely superb side. And I did want to share that, we said Shrewsbury's home form is really, really good. I just want to say this, that I think the reason why is it's the narrowest pitch I have ever seen. Like, you don't realise it until you're actually there, right? We're talking 15 feet between the touchline and the advertising boards. But Peterborough got the job done in horrendous wins, so it's definitely 2 out of 3 if Jake's in agreement.
Yeah, let's move on. Get posh in.
Peterborough to
Nice.
this then. There we go. That's a nice, easy format, isn't it?
This could be
Almost
really
too
easy and really
Yeah,
boring, couldn't it? Actually?
I'm getting a bit worried actually when we are in complete agreement.
We do this for 4 of them. We might have to find something else to talk about. But first one, I reckon we can go with it.
Absolutely. Jake, I'll chuck it to you then. Who could join Peterborough in our Boxing Day Acca?
Okay, I was looking at. I'll do similar to Joe. I'll start off with a fairly shortish price. I was looking at. Oh, is it gone too short now? They've moved a little bit actually. It was Southampton at home to Swansea. They were 1-2. They've tightened a little bit. They're just the wrong side of 1-2. I think it might be a little bit too short now. But yeah, Southampton are absolutely rolling, aren't they? 15 unbeaten now. I think it's a game that would suit them as well stylistically. Swansea they're not ones that sit deep and let them have the ball. But yeah, it might just be one where it gets vetoed. The price has just gone a little bit too short.
I like the can opening effect that Joe had
Yeah.
there. I don't know if it was to cut you off
What are you
or
supping,
what.
Guinness?
but,
Wasn't. That was for Jimmy, mate. So
Yeah.
he couldn't be with us. He's fine, by the way.
yeah, he's absolutely fine. I think he is actually down the pub tonight, isn't he?
He's
He
just
can't
got
really
the
make
evening
it.
off, yeah.
Have you got
Southampton,
that
I will
you were on
say,
about
I
the other
think.
day?
Oh, the
You-
night
Surge.
dress thingy.
No, I'm
Yeah.
hoping someone's got me that for Christmas.
Yeah,
I'll be
hopefully you've been a
fuming
good
if
boy
not.
for Santa. I don't know on Southampton. I think there might be better short price ones out there. Would be my only thing.
Yeah, fine by me.
Obviously, Swansea, I should say, beat Hull, didn't they? I know it was a few lucky deflections almost, and it kind of went in that way. But I think there are a few others that we could go on. Let me have a look at my prices. I mean, the other
Too short for me. I think that
Yeah.
once you get on the other side of 1-2, then yeah, I think that there's probably better stuff out there.
Yeah, when I made my
one I
notes
will-
on
Oh, go on.
I made my notes on Friday. They were 1-2, and I was like, yeah, that's a solid bet at 1-2. But they've just gone the wrong side now after winning.
What is interesting actually is between yesterday, because I mean you lose track of days this time of year, don't you? So the Friday to today, there's been interesting movement in the market because I did the same, made notes yesterday, and then just updated the prices.
I've had the same.
Right before.
I've had the same.
Going the ways that you wouldn't anticipate the teams that have won, but they've shot out.
Yeah,
So it's
Seen a few
really
of those now.
it's really funny the way that it's gone. Tom,
MK Dons at home to Colchester. I had this one down anyway, and then results have come in even as that happened. I just think MK Dons have been really, really good since Mike Williamson, since his arrival. I think they won today, didn't they, away at Morecambe, who
Yeah.
had been all right under caretaker, or since their own managerial change. Are we 3-on-3, or do you want me to try and persuade you a little bit more? I was pleasantly surprised by this price. We're talking around the 4-6, 7-10 marker on this. I thought they'd be shorter. I mean, this MK Dons now unbeaten in the last 7. 5 of those have been victories. They've won 3. I think they've drawn 1 at home as well since the managerial change. To me, it just feels a really solid Acca pick at the price.
yeah, I thought the same. That they've got a really good, highly thought of young progressive coaching. The squad is good. They were just not performing at an adequate level under Graham Alexander. And then he's managed to quickly turn around the squad. He lost his first game in charge, I think, or maybe his first home game. And then since then, they've just started to really get rolling and pick up results. So it's picked up quicker than I anticipated, actually, because it's quite an extreme style of football that he played when he was at Gateshead. And Colchester, I know that their data is quite encouraging because I was big on them, like backing them against the top teams early in the season when they played Mansfield and then another of the top sides at home. But the results have just not got going. I mean, it's been a long while now. So I'd be in favour of going with MK Dons because of the consistency and the turnaround of form under Mike Williamson, rather than worry about Colchester having underlying numbers that aren't delivering anything when we're halfway through the season now.
Yeah,
Jake?
it's a decent argument. Yeah, underlying numbers are one thing. It's just, I don't know, they're a proper wild card in my book, Colchester. They've done us a few times already this season, and we have seen a couple of interesting away wins against teams that, well, Gillingham they were top 7 for a while. They went there and won 3-0. Accrington, a team that we think quite highly of, they went there and won 1-0. Narrowly lost at Crewe and Wrexham, and pushed Stockport hard as well away from home. I think there's better value elsewhere personally, and I know I am with you on MK Dons. I think they're definitely a team in the ascendancy, but I just have, like Jim Rod, the Bamstick has his Stoke little, don't want to go near those. I'm like with Colchester at the minute. I want to see them just a little bit. I know we've got 23 game sample size, but I want to see a little bit more because I'm really struggling to put my finger on what we're going to get from them week to week.
Yeah, and in fairness, then with Colchester, the other thing that was swaying me towards having them, I'm still not saying a no on MK Dons because I really like them, was that Colchester had been on such a losing streak because they'd lost 4 in the league in a row, lost 5 in a row in all competitions, then they beat Salford today. Yeah. So it does kind of break that a little bit. But yeah, so it has kind of fed into my anxiety on that now, unfortunately. Yeah. But I like it. It's number 2 on my list in like price order.
I'd definitely be happy to put it on ice for now and go back to it if we're struggling and we just need a little booster. I think I'd be more than happy to do that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Where else should we go then? I mean, do you want me to chuck another one out? That one was vetoed. I mean, the other ones, the issue is, I know we just spoke about short prices, but I mean, AFC Wimbledon at home to Sutton, around 1-2.
Yeah,
I know we spoke about short prices
shot
there,
out
but
a little bit,
That's
I
weird.
I had it 1-2, they're now 4-7, so they're moving the other way a little bit.
Bit weird, is it not?
Yeah, I thought so.
Sutton are worst travellers in the league, anyway. 4 wins, won the last 4 maybe at home. Now Wimbledon as well in the league. That is, of course, they won in the cup as well. To me, it's just one good team coming up against a bad team. We backed Sutton to lose today. They did so. They've obviously been heavily beaten at Stockport as well quite recently. To me, it's the bottom club who are struggling, can't get anything going. More than happy to back them to lose again.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't have this one down. I don't know whether
this kind of, to be fair, when I was doing my notes, I was did them yesterday, same as you guys, and kind of looked at it. And then this was only one today, really, that I cottoned on to. Like, actually, Wimbledon are at home to Sutton. That's a really good Acca pick, I think. Just a home team that you've got full of confidence.
Automatic, isn't it? Yeah.
To beat a team who are towards the bottom end of the table.
Yeah, I was just shocked by the price move more than anything. I thought they'd get shorter. Sutton, as you said, lost again. Wimbledon won, and they played yesterday, so they've had an extra day's rest for what it's worth. Won away at Crawley, which Crawley's home form has been their big strong suit, and Wimbledon's away form has been their probably biggest Achilles heel, hasn't it? So, I don't see why. It's the same price as Peterborough currently. I'm happy to throw them in and make it a 6-4.
I'd have just as much confidence as in Wimbledon to do it.
Yeah, I back you. I think you picked out a really nice one there. Just slipped through the net on me coming through the coupon. Sutton are just really bad. I mean, they're a non-league team. And that's where they're going back to, aren't they? They'll enjoy it.
Settled on the first 2 then?
Definitely, yeah.
I think we're in agreement. First 2 picks then of this week's Acca, this Boxing Day Acca, I should say. Peterborough at home to Reading. Wimbledon against Sutton. We'll pick out a few more teams very shortly.
One thing we've all got in common is having that one leg of an Acca let us down. From spending your winnings in your head to cursing that last-minute equaliser that broke your heart. but it doesn't have to be that way. Acca Freeze from Sky Bet gives you the power to freeze a winning score early. Even if that team goes on to lose, Sky Bet will settle it as a winner. It's time to take action. It's time to Acca Freeze and end the game your way. Visit skybet.com for full terms and conditions.
So we have Peterborough and Wimbledon then, two short-priced home teams to win on Boxing Day. Joe, should we throw it back to you to potentially suggest a third team for our Acca?
Yeah, I'm going to go just with the prices that I like now, rather than just going
Fair enough.
short. So, I mean, I'm wearing the shirt, but I really like Barnsley to win at Port Vale. So, I've had this argument a couple of times already this season that if you flip round where Barnsley are playing, then you've kind of got to think of their away form and their home form as the other way around. So they're 8-5 to win at Port Vale, which just doesn't make any sense, really.
That is a massive price. I thought you were going to say something stupid like 4-5 or something here. That is...
It's crazy, isn't
massive.
it? So, yeah, if they were 8-5 to win at home to Port Vale, then I would be saying, yeah, get on it, but they'd be far less likely to beat them because they're so poor at home. Whereas away from home, they've just been mopping up all season. So I'd be right on that. He's delivered, I think, 3 times for us in the Acca this season, Barnsley to win away. And it's them sorting out the home form is the only reason why they're not in the top 2. They've been terrible at home, just playing with really low intensity, fearful, but they're set up to score on the counter attack away. So yeah, I'm shocked by the price. Again, jumped out. It's actually bigger than when I looked yesterday. So I was surprised by that.
Jake,
I don't
thoughts?
like it.
I mean, I'm happy to go with it as a price point.
I don't like
No?
it. No. I mean, you'll probably be able to tell us a bit more, Joe. I know everything isn't around the underlying data. Is it more of a way in which Barnsley play away from home as to why the data's so bad?
Yeah, it's more that they at home and it's not even the home thing. More if we took the home and away out of it, then Barnsley's record against top half and bottom half teams. So Stevenage is the first team in the current top half that they've beaten all season. And the way that the fixtures have gone, they've played all the top half teams at home and all the bottom half teams away. So they're beating all the bottom half teams, and they're not beating all the top half teams. So, like beyond the data, that's just a pure fact. So that's where they are as a position. So hopefully, from a Barnsley perspective, beating Stevenage is kind of a big litmus test, and they can start beating the other bigger teams in the division, or the teams in the top half. Stevenage aren't a big team, but that's what they've not managed to do away from home. Then I think that you can kind of build your way into the game a bit. You're not expected to try to score early in the first 15, 20 minutes at home. They're just playing slowly. The crowd's not really getting on side. And they're getting hit on the counter-attack against bigger teams early in the game. They haven't figured out a way to play. Whereas away from home, the way that they play at home works nicely. So that's why it's a problem. So today, I mean, the crowd was just starting to really get at them before they scored an equaliser out of nothing. And that kind of just feeds into itself when you've got a poor home record. Away from home, it's not really a problem. You play under no pressure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yeah. No, I get that, and I kind of want to go with you, but there's one thing that I think that we have to factor in, and it's the fact that Port Vale got absolutely slapped on opening day 7-0, and I think they'll be bang up for this on Boxing Day. I think they'll really want a bit of revenge.
Do they care? Do you care?
Mate,
At this point, is it so long ago you just go...
Yeah, those players will be...
It's happened. Everyone's forgot about it. I bet you, until you said that, everyone forgot that Barnsley beat Port Vale 7-0 on opening day. I reckon so many people forgot about it.
We haven't. We had a
Grow
winning
up,
Acca
Port
on that
Vale.
weekend.
Yeah. Grow up, mate.
Winning Acca
By
on that
mate,
weekend.
I mean Port Vale.
Price is the big one for me, because I mean, if this was 11, if this was 11
Yeah.
to 10, I wouldn't be saying, get on it. it's wild, that price. Barnsley is still like a handful of points off being second in the league. It makes little to no sense.
They've been in really good form, Barnsley, as well. Like, I think
one defeat in 11 games.
Yeah.
Playing crap. I was talking to somebody walking out today saying we're playing rubbish and we've lost once in 11 matches by just like being just about functional. So, and it's not like they're looking like losing. They're just like being a pretty average, grinding it out. It feels like there'll be a time where they start to play better and score more goals. It's not like it feels like it's going to fall apart, if that makes sense, and they're scabbing results. It's the other way around.
The Port Vale turnaround, if you want to put it as, I know they've got a couple of wins and a draw, but it's Wycombe, Wigan, and Exeter away. So they're playing other fairly bad teams. Like Wigan, maybe a little bit of the exception, but that was at home. I wouldn't really buy too much into it when they're now playing a top side.
Similar to the MK Dons one, though, if we've got a significant dissident in the camp, then we might have to just park. We might have to park it.
Is that my new name? Is it? I was
significant dissident.
Yeah.
To be fair, though,
can we ice it for a minute?
Yeah. So with MK Dons with Barnsley, we've got two there. We can absolutely revisit if we need it. In a few minutes' time, if we're struggling to really build something together. I'm all ears if there are kind of more interesting price ones.
Yeah,
Jake?
Sounds good to me.
I'm gonna throw the biggest price that I've got in, which is Bournemouth to beat Fulham at 5-4.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
I think this is I think it's a perfect game for Bournemouth stylistically, because Fulham like playing out from the back, which means that Bournemouth.
I've got it on my list, so that's it. In we go.
It? I'll shut up then. Get Bournemouth
Sorted.
in.
It wasn't on my list, but I'll take it. More than happy. I love Bournemouth, you know this. And thank you for Dominic
I've got a
Solanke
good
for
stat for
today's
you.
hat trick.
Yeah,
Give me
just
with
a
it.
quick stat. Since,
Not allowed.
Since November, since the start of December.
He doesn't even know the
Bournemouth actually
stat.
rank as the second best team in the entire Premier League on the underlying data.
You'll never sing
Arsenal.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll never
You'll
sing
never
that.
sing that. They will be singing that at the Vitality on Boxing Day. Fact.
Bournemouth, Wimbledon, Peterborough. Just above 4-1 treble that we've got so far already, and a 4-1 treble I do like the look of. We've spoken about a few teams there. Where could I chuck in next? If I said Watford to beat Bristol City at even money, what sort of reaction would I get?
I don't like going against Bristol City. They're just, they're really horribly unpredictable. Watford are this season, to be honest.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Do you know, I love Valerian Ismail, obviously. I wish he was no offence to Callum Sellers, but I wish he was my father-in-law. I could just see, like, going in the gym with Valerian Ismail. He used to do loads of interviews during COVID from his home gym. He's got, like, achieve, die for the badge and stuff on the wall behind him. But Watford this season, they're just mental. He's like thrown it all out. They'll score like 5 goals a home game, and then they'll lose 5-0 away. And Watford are like backing him. We're never sacking him.
You say this though that they've doubled down and saying he's the one. Crossed out their 13 games because I've got to update it after the win against Blackburn today, which was away at Ewood Park. Ipswich and Leicester are the only teams to beat Watford. 7 wins across that 13 games as well.
But then Bristol City came back to beat Hull 3-2, didn't they?
Oh man, you've seen 2 of the goals.
I know.
Oh, no. It's like horrible deflections. I've seen questions were asked to the keeper, but come on, like it wasn't like it was free flowing. Great football.
They just feel like two unpredictable teams to me. I like it. I like both of them. It's a game I'd love to watch. But I backed overs in Watford against Norwich a couple of weeks ago, and it came in like 15 minutes. It was 2-2 after about 25 minutes, and that's why Watford, I can't really be getting on side with them. Bristol City for upsetting the favourites in matches, but Watford, it's just wild this season. It's great.
Yeah, ditto.
But
Can I change? Can I
Watford
change
could
to
be 4-0 down after 10 minutes and come back and
Okay.
win 5-4.
What about if I said over 2.5 goals in Watford v Bristol City?
Yeah,
Change it up.
Oh, I'd love that.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Let's. Fair enough. I kind of had it, but I was intrigued if people
Yeah.
thought the price was good or whatever.
Can I throw
yeah.
an
Go for
away
it.
team in there just for you, TC?
It's got to beat Barnsley away at Port Vale.
No, it is Wrexham at Swindon. And there's a bit of reasoning behind this, which I did a bit of research for today. Swindon
You love
obviously
Wrexham?
lost at Tranmere
Well done,
at the
you.
weekend. Thank you. Yeah. I've had my parents round as well and my brothers, and I still managed to do a bit of research.
Did the longest shit of all time.
Just like your parents' puppy. Swindon, in that defeat to Tranmere, they had 8 first-team players absent, third defeat in a row. Their first choice
It
goalkeeper.
sounds like you're
is now-
reading a quiz. It sounds like you're reading a quiz question.
Big fat quiz of the year
There
style.
is definitely no question mark
which
on the end
player
of
was
this.
taken off
Yeah.
in the 37th minute
Yeah.
with a minor hamstring strain?
That would be their first choice goalkeeper, and the defender is now absent, the first choice defender as well. So they are. Well, we've backed against Swindon quite a few times recently. They're really on a bit of a downward spiral. But yeah, they're missing a lot of key players, and Wrexham just absolutely flying at the moment, aren't they? They're one of the pre-season favourites, so it's no surprise to see them up there. But the kind of the way in which they go in, scoring a lot of goals, creating a lot of chances, 6 points now off top of the table with the game in hand. They'll be looking for that title. I think this is another bad spot for Swindon to find themselves in, really. Last home game, they got absolutely stuffed by Barrow, who are the team that are tied with Wrexham on points. I think this price is only going to get shorter, you know. They were even
I'm
money.
going to need a price.
They were even money. They're now into 10 to 11. I think they're going to go off around 8 to 11 for this, you know.
You say even money?
10
They
to
were
11.
even money, yeah. They've just tightened into 10 to 11.
It's an interesting price.
But,
Just
yeah.
trying to see what Michael Flynn said on today. It's interesting about the injuries, if they've got absentees as it is.
Huge absentees, conceded 45 times in 23 games. That is a hell of a defensive record.
Right, let's see if he said anything on the injuries. I mean, to be fair, it's such a quick turnaround. If you went off today, you're probably not going to feature again, are you?
No, definitely not.
I guess the question is, would you prefer Barnsley or Wrexham if we had an away side? Because I'll be honest, there's no really other away teams that I'm looking at.
I've got one.
Ooh.
Bolton 5-4 to win at Lincoln.
I'm not sure on Lincoln. I'm unsure on them since the managerial change. They're not horrendous.
They're
I know
another
they
one
lost
that
at
you'd file
Derby,
in
but
the-
that would be the only thing.
They're definitely in the kind of you don't know what you're going to get
Unknown.
category for me at the moment in time.
It's enough to pie me off anyway because Bolton conceding those 2 late goals has warned me off Bolton a little bit.
Joe's lost his headphones after a minor technical hitch, I should say, where he's had to switch devices. We were in the midst of picking a 4th and 5th team, I think the way we're going on this Acca, so we can get out of here. Come on. Where are we thinking? Because for me, one team we haven't mentioned, which I was surprised by, West Brom to beat Norwich. West Brom as a home side. Pretty decent price. We're talking 3 to 4-ish around that. West Brom have been absolutely superb under Carlos Corberán, haven't they? I know they lost to Huddersfield, but that was back in September. Leicester, the only other team to beat them at home. That was just a daft decision at the end to kind of leave nobody back, try and go for it to win the game. This to me looks like a decent price.
Yeah, I had it down as well. I did think the price looked. I got it down at 4 to 5, and they've drifted to 5 to 6 in places, which makes it look like a pretty decent play. But I don't know with Norwich, man. You say it every week on the podcast. You're like, you just don't know how they are where they are, and I guess
Did they
that
win again
kind of
today?
continues, doesn't it? Yeah, they did.
Oh my God!
They're on
How
a
the
5-match
hell?
unbeaten run.
How the hell is this happening?
they've won 5 of the last 8 games. I don't. I know West Brom's home form before that defeat to Leicester was very good. A couple of draws in there, but I don't know if I want to go and get involved with Norwich and siding against them, because they are just a proper wild card at the moment. We don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah, if Joe Townsend's in the room, can he offer any thoughts to us on this game?
Yeah, I'd be leaning towards what Jake said. More just it's a bit short to be going against Norwich, and West Brom lost to Borough, didn't they, today? So, it's just a touch too short. If it was one that was around that even money, 11-10, you're saying, well, West Brom's been so good at home, it feels like it's worth taking on Norwich because we actually don't think they're great. But Norwich's recent form as well, then I think it's one to avoid.
Right, I'm conscious that we're going on a little bit here.
Can I throw Bradford out there? Because I think Bradford are probably one of the form teams at the moment. They've won all the last 6 games in all competitions. They won the last 4 in the league. They were very good at Doncaster. That managerial change looks to have worked wonders really with Bradford, and I do think that I was saying this to our producer Dom, who is a big Bradford fan. I was saying this to him that the underlying data is for Bradford has been good all season. It just hasn't, for whatever reason, under Mark Hughes, it wasn't working. They weren't converting the chances. So an upturn was going to come at some point, and people will look at it and go, "Oh yeah, new manager bounce." No, he's just carried on doing what they were doing before, and they've just had a bit of a rub of the green. But they are performing like a top 7 team. They have done all season. And Morecambe are the worst travelling team in the entire division, based on the underlying data, which is, that's enough to sway me. I know that they've picked up a couple of wins recently. They went to Doncaster and won 5-0, but they've lost 6 of the 10 away from home. And I think this is a Bradford team that are really on a roll at the moment. And like the price drifted. They were 3-4 when I did my research on Friday, but we're now getting 4-5, which I think is too big. I think they should be a lot closer to that 3-4 mark, maybe even shorter, 7-10, something like that. So that's the pitch for Bradford.
You know what? If Derek Adams was still in charge of Morecambe, no chance. No interest in this whatsoever. No chance. He wants to get another one over on Bradford. The fact he's not there, Bradford have just been in brilliant form at the moment. Don't particularly have any issues or any major issues with this as a home team as well. Just feels, again, another standard Acca home team that you kind of look at. Joe?
Yeah, I like the sound of it. The only other one that I was saving up that I skipped past on my list was Stevenage 4-5 to beat Northampton.
I have Stevenage.
5-6 now.
Yeah. So having seen them today, they are just awful to play against. Like really, really awful.
I was hoping they were brought up actually, because I was going to say what did you think of them today? And it sounds like it's just exactly what we already know of the Steve Evans side.
Yeah, they were just really, really disruptive. Very hard for Barnsley to get into a flow of games. They had to switch to the only thing that switched the game. Barnsley had a bit of luck. The winning goal was a big deflection, but before that, they were clinging on at the start of the first half, and Stevenage really should have taken the lead. And then they switched to a double pivot in midfield and managed to block up the middle of the park. And then brought on a big centre forward and just went direct, and kind of tried to just match them in that direct play. But 90% of teams in the league just aren't going to be able to cope with them. Long throws, so many balls into the box, and just holding on a bit towards the end with that aerial bombardment. You just wouldn't want to play against them. They're in the top 6 for a reason. So to be that close to the even money line. Northampton, I know they've really picked up their form of late, but this season they've actually gone through a bit of a transition to try and become more ball playing, which I don't think is going to suit them on Boxing Day. Ironically, they'd be better off playing in like the old John Brady style. So yeah, I would have it in. Personally.
I've got it. So if we've all got it, 4th pick that seems nailed in.
I have it down, but I'm just looking at Northampton's foot. Like, do you want to back against a team that's won 5 of the last 7 games in League One?
Well, I was looking at Northampton.
They are vibing right now.
thing I had was that 6 of their 7 away against those 17th or above have been defeats. That was going into this weekend.
Yeah.
So a lot of their away wins are based against those teams towards the bottom of the division, and it maybe has kind of skewered the numbers a little bit on them. I mean, it's Stevenage at home. I think they're one of those teams that largely going to pay attention to them anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I do get that. But you look at them on the home table, and they're 13th. They've won 4 of 11, drawn 6, lost 1. Like, I don't know if that's trustworthy enough for me to get on board at that price.
Yeah, the draws is a fair point, to be honest.
3 draws in the last 5.
I've said all mine. So I think so far we have Bournemouth, Peterborough and Wimbledon are the 3 definite locked-in teams that we're all in agreement for. We just need 2 more, and I think it's probably
Bradford?
just going to...
Did we not agree with Bradford?
I liked Bradford. Joe didn't
So we had
particularly say much.
We had Bradford, MK Dons.
Bradford, MK Dons. We've got Barnsley were mentioned. Wrexham were mentioned as well as a potential team. Obviously, I like MK Dons. Of course, I like the Bradford shout. I even like the Barnsley shout. For clarity, if we have Bournemouth, Peterborough, Wimbledon and Bradford, the Acca as a fourfold is just above... Well, it's around the 8-1 marker. If that influences any potential price plays or anything on that one. Would we prefer just to side of a home team?
I'd prefer MK Dons, to Stevenage. If I'm circling back to that, I know that there's like the wariness of Colchester, but I just like the upward trajectory of MK Dons. And like, if they don't win, they don't win. But I just would, if you, I just prefer that one personally. If I was gonna have to pick one, Bradford, I like Jake's case for it. So if Matt, I'm not saying these are the 2, but if I was picking 2 out of those 3, it'd be MK Dons and Bradford.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm down with that as well.
So, Bournemouth,
Look at that. Nice and easy.
Peterborough, Wimbledon, Bradford, MK Dons. How does that sound as a 5-fold? 5 home teams. Bournemouth are the only one who are odds against, but that's floating around the 11-10 marker. Sound a good Acca for Boxing Day?
Sounds like a winner, mate.
Oh yeah. What's it priced? Sorry, mate.
Pricing pre-boost is around 13.5 to 1.
Oh, I like that.
So it's a decent one. So hopefully, our friends at Sky Bet will be feeling the festive cheer spirit, good-willing nature, and give us a little bit of a boost on that.
Yes, please.
There we go. Then this week's Acca for the Boxing Day fixtures taking place on Tuesday. We have Bournemouth to beat Fulham. We've got Peterborough to beat Reading. We have AFC Wimbledon to beat Sutton. We have Bradford to beat Morecambe. And we have MK Dons to beat Colchester. And as we said there, pre-boost, it's coming out around 13.5 to 1. And as ever, remember to keep it fun. Never bet more than you can afford. Please gamble responsibly. Let us know what you think. Get in touch with us on social media or in the comments. And of course, head over to sportinglife.com/football to find the link to back that one at an enhanced price. And if you haven't already, and it's the best way to find the podcasts over the Christmas schedule, please follow and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your chosen podcast provider. Have a very happy Christmas. Hopefully we've got you a winner for the Boxing Day action, and we will be back later next week.